and welcome to SporTView. This is a special edition of SporTView, which is getting to be a lot of fun because it's getting to be an annual tradition where we have the coaches, the high school coaches from last year's senior state champion. Well, they're seniors. All the kids were state champions. State champion football team. My name is Jay Wyman. Along with me is Tom Emmons. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Jay.
We are really happy to have with us the two coaches from Holliston High, head coach Todd Kiley. Nice. Thanks, Todd.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Defensive coach and defensive genius, Paul Athy.
Thank you, Jay, for having us. Tom.
Yeah. I mean, 2015 season full of a lot of excitement for the team, finishing with a championship. Everybody's all excited, but we'd like you to wind it back to the time before you even played your first game, really. And, get some of your thoughts about what you thought the season might turn out like back when the guys were practicing in August.
I think the expectations were not as high as the previous season. Mm-hmm. So I think it gave our kids a chance to just relax, go out and work hard, as the kids do every year. As we're doing right now, as they did the year before. But I think it gave our kids a chance to, especially the seniors. We had a lot of first-year seniors that had been role players for us last year. And for this season, it gave them a chance to prove themselves, that they weren't just role players, and they were put into roles that where they were the go-to guys for some of them.
And there was a lot of talk about that, and the Metro West Daily News gave some great bulletin board material, a time for change in the Tri-Valley League,
right.
Talking about, well, they had the big championship in 2014, but hey, they lost a ton of guys, and there's an opportunity for a different team to reign supreme this season. And this is on the front page of the Metro West Sports section.
And our guys, I think you could even wind it back before August, Tom. The summer they had was tremendous, and that group of seniors Todd referenced, we got a glimpse of their work ethic and their leadership that summer, and you don't know, but we thought we're going to be okay. And they, not a chip, but just a pride that this isn't going to slip on our watch, or we're going to do everything we can to make sure it doesn't.
I remember when we had the media day, and Matt McIsaac said, this is our legacy. We want to build on our legacy, and we use that throughout. It might even be in some of the clips we have here, but we use that throughout, and I just thought that was amazing. And the other thing is that people don't realize you lost, I think it was 16 that year from.
It was a big senior class.
16.
Yeah. And
talented
class.
Very, very talented. I mean, we're talking about some, almost even historically, statistically talented kids.
Right, guys playing in college.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't just like, the kids are coming back. And you had to not start from ground zero, but it was wasn't as easy as everyone probably thinks it was.
One thing that I don't think we underestimated, but was really came to the forefront was a lot of the seniors were role players the year before, but they were impact players in special teams and in situational stuff. And then that whole run through the playoffs the year before, they were so battle-tested and hardened that they weren't going to be intimidated by a Tri-Valley League game their senior year, whether they were a starter or they played 25% of the game, 50% of the game. That road to the playoffs in 2014 set the stage for these guys. Their experience from that road, whatever role they took, really, they weren't intimidated in tough moments that you guys will talk about. When the chips were down, they made plays.
So we'll kind of go over a little bit what we're going to do tonight. We're going to show 4 different sets of film clips. The first is going to be the offensive plays, some of the best offensive plays of the year. And once again, there's a ton of them on the cutting room floor, so if I miss anybody, I'm sorry. Defense is the same thing. I mean, we only had so much time. Then we're going to go through 3 games, which we call the Fantastic Finishes, which are Millis, Duxbury, and of course, the Middleborough playoff game, which was, in my mind, one of the best high school games I think I've ever done.
One of the best called games, too. Everybody says.
It was great. And then, of course, we'll talk about the Super Bowl. So, without any further ado, unless anyone has anything else, we'll take a look now at some of the top offensive plays from the 2015 Holliston High School team.
Second down and 5 for Holliston. Ball's on the 40-yard line of the Mohawks as we start the second quarter.
Whitefield is to the left.
Barrett goes deep. Ciricello, touchdown, Holliston! Tucker Ciricello, 40-yard touchdown from Jack Barrett. Barrett looks to his left, over the middle. Brady Wells catches it at the 40-yard line, gets the block, breaks the tackle inside the 10-yard line. Wells and Donovan to the left. Handoff is to McIsaac, and Matt McIsaac with some room in the middle of the field. Cuts, nice spin move away from a block. Tackle, and he's close to midfield. Barrett, across the middle, slant to number 5. Tucker Ciricello with his 3rd touchdown of the season. Third down and a long 4 for Holliston. Barrett to throw, looks up top. Brady Wells, number 9, has the ball at the 30-yard line. He's gone. Second and 19, 22 seconds left in the first half. Score tied, 14-14. Barrett looks left, puts it up into the end zone. Brady Wells behind the defender. Touchdown, Holliston! And off to McIsaac on the counter off the left side. Steps across the 40, forward to the 33. So second down and 19 after the sack. 2 receivers to the right, Wells to the left. Throw to McIsaac on the screen. Couple of Panthers in front of him. Number 11 pushed out of bounds inside the 10. At the 5, stops the clock with 59 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 15, 38 seconds to go in the first quarter. Barrett looks to his right. Ciricello's behind the defender, comes back with the catch, and it is good. Circus catch by Tucker Ciricello. Barrett looks right, throws. Brady Wells gets behind the defender. Hessian giving chase, but Wells is gone.
Can't catch him. You can't catch him. He's just too fast.
A 64-yard touchdown, and the Panthers are back in the lead. Ciricello alone to his right. Barrett looks left, goes up top. Wells gets behind the defender. And it's a catch. Brady Wells.
Wow. He caught it. Wow.
This time a handoff to Alex Kelly, and he's in for a touchdown. Go Panthers. Barrett going deep. Number 43, Andrew Kime get behind the defense. Touchdown, Holliston. Formation. Ciricello to the right. Wells and Donovan to the left. Handoff is to Ratcliffe. Got a blocker, Kime out in front of him. Ratcliffe making his way back to the outside. Reaches inside the 5-yard line. Athy and Kime in the slot to the left. Ciricello by himself to the right. Quarterback draw. Nice block by Ratcliffe, and Barrett breaks a couple of tackles and gets down to the 35-yard line. Barrett's got to run. Throws. Corner of the end zone. Touchdown! Tucker Ciricello with 15 seconds to go in the half. Ball on the 47-yard line, 42-yard line. Handoff to McIsaac, making his way through the middle of that Lancer defense. Heads to the sideline, leans forward to the 15. The Panthers another first down. Fake to Ratcliffe. Barrett's in trouble, away from the trouble, fires in the end zone.
Touchdown, Panthers, number 2, Grant Buchanan with his first touchdown catch of the season. Hand off to Ratcliffe. Sam Ratcliffe with some room. He's pushing forward into Lancer territory and inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Barrett looks, lots of time.
Got to come back to him. Got to come back to him.
Runs around to get a little more room. Throws to the right side. Cut! Number 5, Tucker Ciricello with a touchdown! 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Handoff to McIsaac. He's up the middle. Nice block and is going to split the defenders. One guy to beat. Horse collar tackled from behind at the 3-yard line. But McIsaac exploded through the middle of that line. Mulvaney, Schneelock, Sally, Bello, and Elliott across the front. McIsaac in motion, gets behind a Ratcliffe block, is up the middle, Gosher to beat, grabs him up high and pulls him down just short of the touchdown. And a shout out to their quarterback, number 1, Jack Barrett, 58% completions, over 1,000 yards passing, 14 touchdowns. He has been running this offense very well for the Panthers this season. Barrett up top, Wells with a step behind, and another touchdown saving tackle by the Lakers. Barrett to Ratcliffe, wide open on the right side, and Sudden Sam is gone for his 2nd touchdown of the game. Barrett looking deep, puts it up top, Ciricello behind the defender. Ben Thomason at the tailback spot moves to Barrett's right. Barrett to Thomas up the middle. Nobody touches him. He's in for a score. 41 seconds to go here in the first half. Barrett with time, goes up top. Athy with position. Touchdown, Panthers! Time the tight end to the right, or to the left. Barrett looking downfield, finds in the middle of the field. Brady Wells, number 9, with the touchdown! Panthers! Barrett rolls right, puts it up top. Ciricello with a step and comes down with the ball! 1st down and 10 for midfield for the Panthers. Barrett looking to throw, looks downfield, tucks the ball and is across the 40 to the 30. Another block by Andrew Kime, springs Barrett for the touchdown! Holliston Panthers! Wells and Athy to the left, Kime tight end to the right, Ciricello split to the right. Barrett looks left. Plenty of time on the crossing pattern. Sam Athy across the 35 to the 40. He's pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Wells in motion. Hand off to him on the jet play to the right. He's got McIsaac in front of him. McIsaac at number 57, Zach Schneelock. Wow. That's a double pancake from IHOP. Big to Wells. Barrett down the middle, wide open, number 43, Andrew Kime, touchdown, Panthers! Barrett on 3rd down and 8, puts it up top, Brady Wells behind the defender, wrestles the ball away and has the 1st down.
Bring back some memories?
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Isn't that great? It's really great. And I said this last year when we did the program too, and I told you guys a little bit earlier. It's so much fun to do this for me to do. And by the way, Lisa Hedrick is fabulous. She helped me put all this stuff together, so it was great.
You guys are top notch here.
But I'll tell you, there's more cut on the editing floor. We could have done an hour just on both the offense and the defense.
Right.
Very special.
Absolutely. And what it reminds you, or at least what it reminds me of, is how unselfish this football team was. That was kind of our MO this year. Nobody needed, it wasn't about the catches, the runs, the glory. It was about doing the little things. And a lot of you see on a lot of these plays, the big blocks that are made to spring those runs, or the pass protection on the pass plays and
Fakes.
yeah, and
carrying
carrying
out
out fakes. We always talk about a good fake is 10 times better than a great block, just because you can take 10 guys with you.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're right about the blocking downfield. Of course, we talk a little bit about in these games that you get these great receivers. That we've been blessed with some great receivers. And you saw the catches they made. These same guys are making blocks to release some of those.
Yeah, they
running
take pride in their
too.
stock blocking.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're and it also reminds you that we have to replace some talent.
Yeah.
Because those seniors, I mean, that was it was almost the senior highlight film right there.
Yeah.
The two guys that come to mind are Tucker and Brady Wells, and what they
Production.
did for us from a big play standpoint, and really in their first year of in those roles of being go-to guys, which they were. We knew. I mean, Matt McIsaac. We had a good idea what he was going to bring to the table. He's done that that was his third year doing what he did, and he even picked it up a notch. And he could have been one of those players that said, you know what, this is my year. I should be getting the ball, and he got his share of carries. But what he did behind the scenes was, in my eyes, more impressive, and just the leadership. And when a leader like Matt does what he does, the rest of the team follows suit. They follow suit, And Andrew Keim, another one that probably took a step back in maybe not really I don't want to call it a step back, but in the glory, the glory of the game. Which, if you know the game, it's not about that. If you want wins, and the things that he did behind the scenes, and that's really kind of what made this team what it was. The little things, and obviously the big plays were nice as well. as Jay, you showed us through your editing, but I think it was a combination of a bunch of things, and hopefully our younger guys are watching this and realizing what it does take to be successful. And this team showed that, because there was a lot of question marks going in, and after I think we realized that. We realize in the summer, but you're never really sure until you get out on that field. And what type of leaders, are we gonna have on this team? The kids without the C on their chest. What type of leadership are they gonna show? And those kids, they brought it every single game, every single practice, and they gave themselves a chance. And we were there, standing at the end because of that.
Yeah.
They really did. And on the defensive side of the ball too, when we get to that, you'll see the same things with the Justin Keats and those kids. They didn't quit. They never ever quit this team. No matter what they get into, they just never quit, did they?
No, they did not.
Yeah. And that goes back to the test of the maturity of them from going through the previous year's battles and being battle tested in whatever role they had, but they definitely no panic. They were poised and unselfish.
Yep. And the big plays that were made, in crucial times.
Both sides of the ball.
Yeah. You saw Tucker making those big plays early on. Really his first go at it. And with live bullets.
Right.
And just being able to do what he did initially, right out of the gate. And just the refuse to lose attitude, the mental and physical toughness from those guys.
And the numbers added up, 31 points a game for the squad in 2015. 11 different players scoring touchdowns.
Very balanced.
2,600 yards rushing, over 200 yards a game on the ground, and 1,600 yards passing, 126. So 60-40 almost, ground to air, which is that balance you like to talk about.
Right, and you know that starts up front with Coach Perry's guys, who's not here now, but he is. He's probably preparing his steak dinner for his guys. He loves his linemen, but he can take any group of 5, and he's amazing. You know?
and
Coach
those
will talk about
seniors-
that more. And he
Those
jobbed that
seniors up
line.
front that did the dirty work. Zach Schneelock had a phenomenal year.
He and Bello,
really a
first-year player.
Yep,
Yeah.
those two. Ian Bello, Zach Schneelock, 2 first-year kids that really didn't get their first test until that game 1.
Because you did lose a lot. You lost,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Chipman and those guys, you lost a lot there. Then you even had a freshman come up
Yeah.
and start in the offensive line.
Right.
Yeah.
Which,
So we had
which is
some-
pretty impressive because I don't think, a lot of times, me and the offensive line, but people don't understand that there's a lot of coordination there. You don't just go and hit the guy in front of you.
Right.
You got to think a lot out there. For a freshman to go out there and do what he did this year was
Yep.
And I'll build on that to give you a testament to the senior group. A kid like Aiden Delaney, who played, when John DeCarmo got hurt the previous year, stepped in and played and was, for the most part, a starter down the stretch a little bit. Got a little dinged up and then gave this freshman the opportunity, but no one was more supportive as an offensive lineman than him as a senior throughout that process, and that just goes back to that attitude of those seniors that, if he should be there, I'm going to do everything I can to coach this kid up and help the offensive line. So you talk about an unselfish kid there who could have taken I'm not losing my position to a freshman. Aiden was right there, down the stretch doing stuff.
And that can cause dissension
Yeah.
amongst teams, but we've been fortunate to not have that type of kid. It comes from the family, coming
Exactly
from great
right.
families, and the Delaney family being a great one.
Been
Been
through
in
the
the program a long time, and Aiden did what he could in practice and helped us out in special teams and did little things, but
Made our defense better.
Yeah.
Working those guys.
yeah. So it's you need kids like that. So it's it was great. You need, like we talked about, it was a young line to just finish up on the line. It was a young line, so you need those seniors to step in, like Bello and Schneelock did, and then the behind the scenes type of stuff with Aiden and everything he brought to the table as well. So it's just a total team effort offensively, on really all 3 sides. Specials and defense, but looking at the offensive side, it reminds you that just
It's
a total
amazing,
team
yeah.
effort. Yep.
It makes you want to get back in the press box. Let's go, guys. Back up there.
Soon enough.
Want to give some kudos to the couple of those offensive stars, senior offensive stars. Matt McIsaac was 726 yards on the ground. He had over 900 yards, all-purpose yards every time he got a chance to touch the ball. And one of the favorite stats I had that jumped out was Brady Wells and Tucker Ciricello with their combined 17 touchdowns they had on the season.
A lot of production.
Replacing some of the excitement that Zach Elkinson. But when you got down to the end of the half, the 2-minute drill, which you guys seem to just love running no matter what the score is, 10 out of the 13 games last season, the Panthers scored in the last 2 minutes of the game. I mean, that's just phenomenal when you consider all the football being played out there. Didn't make any difference whether you had a minute and 10 seconds. We'd say in the booth, that's plenty of time. 50 seconds, you guys could move it down the field. And talk a little bit about how you get a team ready right from the first game to be able to drive the field like that.
Well, it goes back to the makeup of who you have on your football team, and it goes back to the summer workouts and how that builds mental toughness. Because at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. When you're talking about those last, throw the skill and all that stuff out the window. Not entirely, obviously you need skill, but every team has skill. But
Great conditioned.
If you're mentally tough and you are physically conditioned to handle anything that's going to be thrown at you late in the game like that, you're going to have success. And I think that is why our team has success. We're mentally tough. Our kids are refused to lose. We don't mind our back up against the wall.
Yeah.
And there was some good clock
we don't
management
give
in there,
up.
too.
Right. Well, they believe in Coach
Yeah,
too.
so
I
it's good clock
mean, he's been
management.
through it, so
Yeah.
they trust. There's a definite mutual trust.
Yeah,
with-
can we talk about that for a minute? I see that, and we'll talk about that when we get into the Millis game and the fantastic finishes. We'll talk about the Millis, the trust, and how that gets formulated early in the season. But they do have a lot of trust in you guys, don't they?
And I think, I'll speak from, in the huddle watch. Coach will get feedback and ask feedback, and offensively. We do the same defensively, but yeah.
Yeah, there has to be. That's football. There has to be mutual trust there, and there is. We trust our kids because they're working all week long. That's why you see me go for it on fourth down more often than not. It's the trust factor, and it's we believe in these kids, and I think it's just it's a team. We're in this thing together, and nobody panics when we're in the sideline and I'm calling that play for the first play of the series, and we're huddled up. The only time we do huddle up before we go out in the field, you can see it in their eyes. We're going to get this thing done. There's no panic. There's a method to the madness, and the kids execute it to perfection. It's
that's
great to see.
That's a good point as far as the executing, and something that Jay and I noticed from the booth. They anticipate. They know what's coming next. Like if they get tackled inbounds, they know when they're going to call a timeout. They know when we're going to line up and go quick.
Right.
They know when they need to get out of bounds. They know that incompletion stops the clock. They get a little bit more time.
They want to go fast.
And they want to go fast, and they know
work,
how to go fast. So it's not they're not looking to you to say, "Geez, what do we do now?"
It's the attention to detail of practice of that 2-minute drill too. The attention to detail. They know what they're supposed to do. So.
And it does. It stems. We win our games. We always talk about it. Win our games Sunday through Thursday. For a Friday night game. And it's about the kids executing in practice and treating that practice game-like. And the more reps you can make game-like, the better off you're going to be. And we rep that.
Believing in the plan
quite a bit. Yeah. So
that week.
But it takes a group like we had to go out and execute. I mean, there's a lot of coaches out there that are repping it. It's about the kids going out and executing, and our kids. We just have been very fortunate. They find a way to get it done.
They do. So, offense. Let's move a little bit to defense and special teams here. We got another clip of some of the highlights coming up here of the defense and some of the big plays on special teams, which we all know special teams are so important in football.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can take a look at those.
Receivers to the left. Warren, their quarterback, is under pressure and brought down. Sam Athy and number 6, Ian McCarthy, on the sack. Extra point is blocked. Because that's how you punch a ticket. Win the TVL and you're in the playoffs. Pooch kick, slides up the middle, scooped up. And a little speed and putting the Jets on. Number 21, Sam Athy, is going to be chased by Warren, but it's not going to be in time. Touchdown, Panthers. Whoa, coming off the edge.
Read that like a book.
3 receivers to Warren's right. Empty backfield, 2 to his left. Warren rolls out. Wow, a lot of pressure by Keast. And the senior captain, number 22, forced that play to go incomplete. And the handoff to Mason. And that is 66. Zach Stirring right in there, and Sam Athy finishes them off. Fallon in motion. Fake to him on the jet play and brought down. Number 11, Matt McIsaac with the sack. Fallon split to the right. That's where Patterson rolls to the right, looking. And the Panthers catch him. Patterson sacked. That was number 33, Sam Ratcliffe, on the tackle. To the red zone. They're on the Panther 19-yard line, 1st and 10, 3:16 to go in the third quarter. Panthers leading 19-6. Patterson looking for the end zone. Intercepted Number 4, Mike Donovan. Addison rolls to the right.
Intercepted.
Picked off. Second interception of the game for the Panthers. This one, number 5, Tucker Ciracello.
Boy, did he play that right.
Brodeur under center. Looks deep. Chased out of the pocket. Athy gets a hand on him. Minute 8 to go in the first quarter. Panthers leading 7-0. Brodeur looking to pass, but wow! Coming from behind, number 9, Brady Wells, who just checked into the game. Brodeur gets put down by number 6. Ian McCarthy with the sack. Oh, snap over Brodeur's head, scooped up by Athy. Go to Ireland, hit right away. Captain Matt McIsaac comes up and stuffs that play. Leaning back to pass, and he has to put it down, and he's gonna call it incomplete. 3 receivers to the left of Gosher, wide side of the field. 3rd and 9 for the Lakers. Gosher on the draw. Nice job coming up. Number 14, J.B. Cerulli. Martin rolls out. Chased, tucks, pushed down by number 66, Zach Strick. Cannon's kick, a line drive. Bounces at the 15, takes a Panther bounce. Scooped up by Martin at the 3, chase from behind. I saw a 4. Mike McKenna. It's blocked.
Blocked.
Shipman's going to take it himself on the right side, but he is caught and down.
Well,
number 66, Zach Stirring on the tackle.
you can fear the beard on that one.
Time, 5:05 to go in the first half. Bad snap in the end zone, loose ball. Out the back is a safety. Well, there's the break the Panthers needed. They've been knocking on the door, and they made this one. They put heart and soul, number 1 and 34 to the right. That's where Chipman looks. Being chased from the pocket, he heaves it deep, looking for a play. Knocked down! Number 2, Grant Buchanan. Byrne, the quarterback, number 12, is going to hang one up. Back on defense, number 4, Mike Donovan. Perfect coverage. Turned back to the ball, saw it the whole way.
Yeah, good job. I'm kind of surprised they passed from down there. Burns a pretty good passer.
Ciracello back to receive the kick. Athy looking for a fake. Kick gonna bounce at the 25, taken on a hop by Ciracello. He's through the first line. He's got a wide open field. Nobody in front of him. One player to chase him. Touchdown, Panthers! Tucker Ciracello with a 80-yard punt return. And over to the line, 3rd down and 9. Ball's on their own 11-yard line. Byrne is under center. DeForest and Rogers behind him. Fake. And he is caught and down! 22. Justin Keast with the tackle. And a timeout, Holliston. So with 4th and 9, the ball on the 20. This will be a 37-yard field goal attempt.
If it is a field goal attempt.
Jack Barrett is your holder, the quarterback. Grant Buchanan with a 34-yarder against Westwood earlier in the season. Buchanan's kick is strong and good. So the Andrew Kimes snap, the Jack Barrett hold, and a 37-yard field goal by Grant Buchanan with 6:15 to go in the third quarter. Panthers up 21-0.
This is where they like to run out of this.
Third
formation.
down and 15. Burns looking deep, hangs it up. 3 Panthers back there. Sam Athy with the interception and out of bounds at the 47-yard line. He throws it down the middle of the field. LaForest drops the ball as Ciricello. Little 5-on-5 right there, and Ciricello comes out the victor. Turn the stakes every so often. Brendan McCann sacked by number 56, Ben Sally. Well, back and forth at each other. Hand off to Taylor, right side. He's hit behind the line for a stop. And by Stoneham, Taylor's on the left-hand wing. Pitch to him. Panthers come up and they meet him. Another back in motion. Pitch to O'Neal. He's going to try to make it to the corner. Grant Buchanan with the hit and cleaned up by Tucker Ciricello for the stop. Spartans going for it on 4th and goal from the 6. Can to pass. Fires to the edge. Knocked away by Buchanan. And so the Panthers take over on down. So sort of the T formation that McCann comes out of, but he's gobbled up in the pocket. Buchanan one-on-one to the right. Donovan one-on-one to the left. Throw intercepted! Mike Donovan with the catch!
Pretty good, huh?
Fired up?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's get going.
Oh, yeah, I want to go, kick
Yeah.
off.
Good defense. I mean, well, better than good. It's great defense, you know. And once again, we get to the thing with the kids, you know, and it's playing together as a team, because that's what defense is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a, Coach Kiley always tells the kids the ultimate team sport. I say defense is the ultimate, unselfish team defense. So we kind of, moved some guys around the first couple games, and I think Westwood, when I talked to you during the clips, was kind of our turning point. It was a great offensive team, playoff team, and we shut them down. I think they had one offensive touchdown.
Only one.
Yeah, and then that was our defining moment. Then we kind of built on that through the whole run, and we really we got better. And over the years, the kids believe in each other. They start to be confident. They start to understand the scheme more. We start to be able to put some more stuff in. And but they, at the end of the day, they believed in each other. Team defense. They're passionate. Here you see the clips where they're flying around with each other and celebrating together, and that's great to see.
Do you guys try as coaches to have a separate offense and defense? Do you try and keep players not playing both ways if at all possible?
So yeah, I mean, that's our goal at the beginning of the season, is to 2 platoon. Very rarely, especially when you're dealing with the small schools
Right.
like we are, and the small rosters, it's difficult to do. There's been a couple of years where we've been close to that. Mm-hmm. Last year being one of those, we had a few guys going both ways. But bottom line is, if you're a playmaker on both sides of the ball and we can't afford you to be on the sidelines, then you're going to be out in the field.
Well, a priority. So someone might be a D priority kid
Right.
and an O priority, and then he'll try to get his rest 50% on one side.
Yeah.
Of the ball.
Yeah, so we go 70 max. We want to play somebody is 75% of the game. So we have, like Coach said, a priority. So if you're an O priority, you're playing most of the reps on offense with an occasional breather, and then we try and rotate somebody in on the other side of the ball with that individual.
That builds that depth in, which you always need. Every
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
needs depth,
Yep.
and to get depth, you got to have those reps out on the field. So
Yeah, we've been fortunate up front to get close to 2 platooning over the last couple of years, and that's maybe of situational stuff, a goal line, or change the front and add another lineman, but for the most part, and that's what makes our D-line, O-line, so they're going against each other in practice.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. That's a
It
big,
really
big
helps.
plus.
Yeah.
When you're going against one of the best offenses in the state,
Right.
if you can stop them in practice day after day, you
Right.
can pretty much handle
Yeah.
a lot of the other
and I
teams.
think that's why we improve from week to week, really both sides of the ball. But I think last season it was pretty clear that we got better every week. We got better defensively.
Yeah.
And it's just, defensively, we want our kids flying around and reacting to what they're seeing and not having to think. And it goes, that goes through practice obviously all week long. Coach Athy does a great job putting in our defensive scheme, and
they buy into what we're putting in, too. So this is a very intelligent group, and not that we overcomplicate things, because that's the worst thing you want to do defensively, slow them down. But from a core, tweaks week to week, and they'd embrace it, buy into it, be ready to go, and then be muscle memory by the time Friday went around and believe in it.
Yeah, and people don't realize in all sports that it's not just speed, because a lot of kids have speed. It's the kids who knows where he's going. He can read and react more quickly. Yeah. He's going to get there more quickly, whether he's faster than the other guy or not.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Murph works technique with our D linemen. So a lot of it's technique. Coach Perry has our inside backers and works with those guys on their reads. Coach Stevens with our DBs. Working on we obviously some teams that could throw the ball down the stretch and working. Changing the coverages up, and so people take pride in their positions on both sides of the ball. In particular, I know defensively we really try to coach the technique and build confidence in all the kids and let them be athletes and fly around.
And I know in the Super Bowl, we'll talk about that when we get to that. There was a pretty decent change on defense. I mean, a pretty good change. But other than that, did you pretty much stay in your basic defense most of the?
No, we customize our defense to who we're seeing every week. That's why if you drive by at 1 a.m. on a Sunday night, you'll see all our cars. So we have no lives.
Cynthia has those pillows. We interrupt this marriage for football season.
And I think that's why the kids, they'll go out and they'll give it their all regardless, but they feel guilty because they're like, these coaches have been in there way too long. We got to do something out there, right?
Geez, I'm feeling guilty now. We should pick it up a little.
But if you think of it, I mean, you flip from a the playoffs, even in league, Westwood's a spread team, and then the next week, someone's Norton's more of an I team, so you have to defense 101, take away what the other team's doing, but also within your scheme, So, but Stoneham was line up and mash it, and then the next game is a spread team that slings the ball around.
Couldn't be more polar opposite.
Talk about contrasting, and then Middleborough, was wide open kind of spread, and then Hanover was a pounded team, perimeter team. They were run. So we tightened up some stuff, week to week, and then we changed some stuff. Takeaway.
Talk a little bit about how you build up your defense. You start with that defensive line. They really,
unselfish
and set it up. You had Zach Stirring, Justin Keese, Ian McCarthy, all 40 tackles, couple of sacks.
Riley McGettigan is another. Well, again, those are great seniors that you mentioned, and speaking to this team, but. We talk about just like the stock blocking on offense. You can get paws. The kids get paws on their helmets. You could not make a tackle and have a 7 or 8 paw game as a defensive lineman, and that's just doing your job. Holding your gap,
keeping those guys off your linebackers.
Yeah, and the one thing that those guys you mentioned, Jay, we've talked about this. We had one sub-5 kid on the defense, and that's including the D line.
Right.
So when you're a fast defense, those guys are working their technique, but they're also getting after it, and you see in those clips. 10, 11 guys to the ball, that becomes fun and contagious. So,
and it does remind you again, on this side of the ball who we have to replace.
Exactly.
Right? Like our two bookends.
There's a great story.
Justin Keese and Ian McCarthy. I mean, those two had monster.
Yeah.
So
Joe,
what they do behind the scenes, and what they're doing, unselfishly, maybe not making the tackle all the time, but spilling stuff to the outside to allow our backers to make the play, and just doing all the little things, and talk about 2 coachable kids and 2 tough.
Because you give those defensive linemen, you give them assignments to try to be aggressive against the offense. You're telling them.
Jay will always say they're losing contained and they're not contained play. So, but the funny thing is, talking to what Coach just said, Ian McCarthy, he replaced Joe Bellomo.
Right.
Who you don't get a stronger kid who was a DN, and. Ian's what, maybe 165,
Yep.
170, but wiry, strong, worked his butt off in the weight room, and he's up there battling with tackles and tight ends and getting it done. And he was a great story, and he was one of our best special teams players the year before,
Right.
and he lined up, and so it was exciting to see, and you feel great for a kid like that who. We coached his older brother Tommy, and he got his second ring, so now he's got bragging rights in his house.
Well, didn't he wore Tommy's shirt, didn't he, in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
It was
he's
number 10
the
or
name
something.
6. Great family. Jack's been a great
Yeah.
sponsor too, but I saw Tommy was down at Casey's after, and I said, he's got you.
Oh, it's all good though.
Yeah.
That's nice when when the brothers are arguing
Yeah,
who has
right.
more rings.
Yeah, that's
You know,
something,
that's-
yeah.
but it just goes to show you,
happened to my house.
right? Goes to show you what type of kids are coming through
Yeah.
this program.
Yeah.
You know, it's just we're very fortunate.
Yeah.
We just hope it keeps.
Goes back to the families too.
Yeah,
They're
those
great
families,
that are-
exactly.
yeah.
And when you talk about special teams, 2 years ago, JB Cirilli, there's a kid who was
Oh, yeah.
really played. I thought he covered very well in special teams, kickoffs and stuff,
Yep.
making a lot of tackles. He comes up here now, boom, he's one of your top linebackers.
Well, he was to the point I said earlier about changing the, we moved some guys around, and JB kind of settled in on that inside backer position, and just smart, tough, got everything out, read keys, worked hard, and Coach Perry does a great job with the inside backers and work with them. So he allowed us to do some things. We're moving some guys outside and doing some other stuff by moving him to that inside, and he came on. He's one of the key reasons we gelled. He's another senior, unselfish.
Just a tough, smart kid.
Yeah.
You know.
Finished second in the team in tackles with 71.
Yeah, and he didn't
12 for
even. I don't
loss.
think he started on defense the first
Right.
game or two. To do that is impressive.
Yeah, I think we put him in week 2.
Yeah.
Week 2 is the
Yep.
we shifted some things around, put Keese back.
Yes, I
we were
remember
trying
that.
to keep out in
Back at
space.
end.
Yeah, he was a
tried,
fish out of water out
steering
there.
out on the end, right?
Yeah.
Zach
Yep.
was on the end,
Yep.
and you put him back inside.
Yeah, and a lot of that was Millis. We put a little bit of strength. We put Radcliffe and Athy inside
for the
that
running
game.
back, yeah.
But stuff bounced. And Justin was just more comfortable as a spill player than an outside player in space, and certainly the results speak for themselves. But allowing JB taking that over allowed us to do that and then move Sam Athy out to safety and do some other stuff that we wanted to do with the team.
Coach Stevens coaching those D-backs. The D-backs did a really good year.
Yeah, they have a
Some big
great
plays.
relationship with him. He takes pride in them. They compete in practice too during his individual stage. And they'll go one-on-ones a lot. So again, Tucker and Grant going and working each other that way. So yeah, that's great competition, and he does a good job on his technique.
And speaking of Grant, pretty powerful weapon,
Right.
kickoffs.
Yeah, no, that's I don't think a lot of people realize the value in that, and having a kid that can put it through the end zone on a lot of kickoffs.
He had
And
15,
teams are starting
15 touchbacks.
15 touchbacks,
Average
which is unheard of.
kickoff was 54.5 yards.
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
when you
Yeah.
only
Field
kick at
position.
65, that's
Right. And Coach
amazing.
Perry's kickoff team, he is. He'd take all 11 of our defensive starters if he could. We were like, that's where we try to get guys, a risk sometimes. But
Yeah.
he took pride in that, and that was the kicks were great, but the coverage was just
yes,
as good. I mean,
yeah.
we were
Because you can
ferocious.
outkick your coverage sometimes too.
Yeah.
Those
No, we
kids,
had-
they held their lanes and they.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
fast, and
Yeah.
like Coach Athy said, Coach Perry does a great job. Takes a lot of, as you can tell from what we're talking about, Coach Perry wears many
Yeah.
hats for this program. I mean, he does a great job with our line, our inside backers, but he's also our special teams coordinator, and does a great job there. And he has those kids flying,
Yeah.
and they're playing passionate football, and that's what you need. That's 1/3 of the game. You got to bring it on that side of the ball,
Absolutely.
and our kids, even the starters. A lot of times, the starters won't play that role. But we're not
Yeah.
going to sacrifice special teams. So there was some starters.
Well,
out
if you look
there.
at the, I'm sure the Super Bowl, our kickoffs, I don't think,
Oh, yeah.
it was. There's no,
Yeah, it's
come
ridiculous.
playoffs, it's all everything.
And then of course Jack Barrett did the punting for you, and there's
Right.
another guy who booms the ball.
Yeah, great field position.
no,
changes.
I keep telling them, like, keep working that leg. NFL, that's
Yeah.
the best job in the world.
Oh, yeah.
NFL punting. No practice. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
when has
Right.
anybody ever said we would have won if the punter punted better?
Yeah.
But when you cough and corner it and you have a nice punt, you get all the
Absolutely.
you get the accolades there. So he's special too.
Yeah.
So it's Glad we
Will
have
he be
him.
kicking this year, do you think?
Yep, he'll be
Yeah,
punting.
good.
Yep.
When we punt.
I mean, yeah, he didn't get one. Well, obviously, we didn't see
Unless
much.
somebody beats him out.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
Always
Some kids actually that,
Yep.
yeah. And you know what? But Jack, he's a little dinged up in the Super Bowl. But how about Matt's punt? We were down pinned in our deep end, and Matt had a
Matt
50-something
McIsaac, right.
yard punt that changed field position.
That's right.
It goes back to doing the little things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gamer. He's a
Yeah.
gamer,
Yeah.
Matt,
Just did it all.
I got a few stats on the defense. 11.8 points per game for the entire season.
Yeah, and that was
3 shutouts, 203 yards per game, but less than 96 yards passing every game. I mean, just holding them down. But then when the playoffs, because defense wins championships,
Yeah.
ratchets it down. In those 5 games, 8 points a game.
Right.
2 shutouts in the playoffs. 177 yards.
Yeah, and that's with a shootout
Total
with Middlebury.
offense
Right.
against
Yeah, Middlebury.
5 playoff teams. I mean, that's shutting them down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the time of year you do it. Yeah.
And like you said, down the stretch, you need that from your defense,
You got to have it, and in this day and age, especially with all the fantasy sports and everything, people look at the offenses, and the offense is explosive, and they should be. But it's that defense. You get a couple stops when you really
Right.
need them, and it makes a big difference.
And it's totally committing to the plan and your teammate and your brother. I mean, being unselfish, team defense and believing in it. And I know it sounds redundant, but it's easier said than done. And when kids buy in, and they live it, that's why you get results like that.
Absolutely.
It's nice to
be
say
around
team defense, but you get your defensive backs. They're on one-on-one a lot, and there it is.
Right. But
The
but
rest
a
of
lot
the team's hoping they're going to.
yeah, but a lot of times they're one-on-ones because we're bringing heat and helping
Right.
them.
Yeah.
And making sure the ball gets out. Joe, as an ex-quarterback, the
Don't want to be hurried.
Yeah. It's like you don't like uncomfortable movement.
Right. Don't
Given
make the
time
move.
is not. Yeah. So we've
We
never
saw
been.
that a lot in the clips too. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll mix it up, but we don't like to have quarterbacks comfortable back there situationally.
It's fun to
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
too. So 2 years ago, we had a team that was very dominant. Really, I mean, they dominated a lot of teams. This team also dominated a lot of teams, but there were 3 games that we're going to show some clips on that we call the fantastic finishes. The Millis game, with I think 5 or 7 minutes left, whatever, we were down by 7 points, right?
Yep.
And then we had the Duxbury game where we were down
By 14 points.
We're down
Yeah,
14.
we were up,
Yeah.
we were down.
Yeah.
up and down. And then the one that's most important of all is the Middleborough game, the playoff game. And we had to come back. And before we show you that game, I'll tell you a quick story. I don't know if you've ever heard this story, but we were up in the press box at halftime. I won't mention the writer's name, but a writer for a local newspaper was pounding away on his computer. And I said, what are you writing there? And he said, well, I'm writing about the game. He said, it's pretty much over. Holliston lost the way they usually win. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, put that away, and at the end of the game, you'll be writing about one of the great comebacks of all time.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Right? This is
true story. True
and I
story.
said, after the game, so he said to me, if that's the case, I'll write in the paper that you told me that.
Did he?
He didn't do it.
so he's not invited to
Jared,
that.
is that Jared Keene?
Yeah, hang him out on here. He's a beat writer for us forever.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
old Jared.
All right, so
He's
you got it. Next time he comes into the box next year,
He's going to get it.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
absolutely.
that.
No doubt.
So we got
Interesting.
those 3 finishes here, and see if we can run
exciting.
them now.
$7:44 to go here in the game. Barrett's going to take it. He's got room up the middle. Draws a crowd, but not before he picks up another Panther first down inside the 10-yard line. First and goal from the 10-yard line. Ratcliffe in to Barrett's left. 3 receivers to the left-hand side. Barrett waits, doesn't find as much room, dives forward for maybe a yard or 2. Second and goal from the 9.
You see how Tucker is out there all by himself. Now, if he cuts across the field, he's going to take that D back with him. There's nobody else out there.
That's Espinette on him. Barrett rolls to his left. Tucks, heads, inside the 5-yard line. Didn't make the cone. Let's see. I guess he went out at the 3-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 3. 5:42, clock running. Ciricello, Donovan, and Wells to the right. Kime to the left. Barrett fires. Knocked away. Intended for Donovan. That'll stop the clock and bring up a 4th down and goal. That ball was on the mark. A diving save by... Is that Ryan Smith, number 9?
Well, that was a great defensive play by that defensive back, because if he doesn't dive and tip that ball, that's a touchdown for Holliston.
4th down and goal.
Last year, the Panthers were 54% on 4th downs.
And Holliston's going to take a timeout after they see Millis line up. Ciricello and Kime go to the right. Wells split left with Donovan in the slot.
Right, and they were all split wide enough to open up seams for either McIsaac or Barrett to run the ball.
McIsaac moves to Barrett's right. Barrett fires. Touchdown, Holliston!
Well, Brady Wells got in the open there, and he made us a nice move.
I tell you, the Panthers, the chips were down. They're 4th down. They're down to it, and Jack Barrett connects with Wells on his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And I think, let's see if they're going to go for 2. They are going for 2. I think this is a good call. I think this is a really good call, because what you want to do is you want to go in there and get the lead if you can. If not, you still have time with your timeouts to get the ball back, come down, and even kick a field goal. But I like this. I really like this. This is saying we're better than you. We're going to beat you here. Let's see what happens.
A win's better than a tie, and Holliston wants it right now. You've said, Jay, which team wants it? And I'll tell you, the Panthers want it bad. Let's see what the Mohawks got. Barrett rolls left. Fires. Caught! Touchdown, Holliston on the 2-point conversion. I didn't see who made the catch. There's so many people down here.
I thought it was Brady Wells.
No. So that'll bring up 4th down and 9 for the Panthers. Clock stop with 7:04.
And you got a little decision to make here now, and I guess Holliston's going to go for it. But
7 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter.
Down a score. Got to chase this score. Ciricello and Donovan to the right. Kime standing to the right of Mulvaney. Wells alone by himself to the left. Wells is one-on-one, and that's where they go. He comes back to the ball and makes the catch for a 1st down. 3rd down and 10. Ball at the 31-yard line, trailing Duxbury by 8 points, 35-27. 6:33 to go here in the 4th quarter.
you don't need it all at once here.
They bring Wells in motion to the right. Barrett scrambling, nice block, he picks up, unloads, connects to Brady Wells, tries to speed her up the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
that's good for a Panther.
So the clock running, 5:23 to go here in the game.
Get a first down without getting in the end zone.
3rd down and 3 from the 4-yard line.
5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining on the clock.
Barrett takes it himself again, right side, walks in, touchdown! Panthers score with 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. That stops the clock, so Holliston does not have to use a timeout, brings up 3rd down and 11.
And now we come to that play in the game. That play in the game that both teams are going to look at, possibly to say this is where the game might have been won or lost. Let's see if Holliston can keep Duxbury down here and don't allow them the first down.
But Coach Mamron knows that just running into the middle of the line, and Holliston having the timeouts is they need to get, Duxbury needs to get first downs to win this game. Holliston needing to come up with a big stop.
There's a blitz. Holliston set up a blitz.
Here they come. Crunch in the pocket, Mamron lets it go. Intercepted! Number 4, Mike Donovan coming up with the ball, and the big sudden change happens. Barrett on the draw, gets away from a defender. Up the middle, he's got the first down, or close to a first down, sorry, got inside the 25. Barrett looks right, fires right, connects right. Ciricello on the catch. He's wrestled. He's got enough for the first down to move the chains again. Handoff to McIsaac. He's got some room. Bounces it inside, outside. Snakes inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be close to another first down. 2-point game, 2:17 to go. Panthers come to the line. 2nd down and 1. Ball in the 11. Handoff to Ratcliffe. Moves left. He's got the first down inside the 10-yard line.
Precious seconds ticking off the clock for both of these ball clubs.
1st and goal. Ball at the 6-yard line.
There's 1:45 left in this ball game, 105 seconds.
Coach Kiley letting the clock run.
First down, goal to go for the Panthers.
Barrett takes it himself up the middle. Touchdown, Holliston! Jack Barrett with his 3rd running touchdown of the game with 1:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. Mamron looks right, throws right, connects with number 2, short of the first down.
10 seconds.
Clock is stopped. It's going to be 4th down and 1. Well, it's 4th down. If they don't run the ball or complete a pass, this game is over. Mamron has Regan one-on-one with Buchanan.
He also has the wide side of the field to his left where Regan is.
Mamron goes, throws deep to Buchanan over the top. Incomplete!
Holliston takes it.
Incomplete! Panthers win! So 4th and 10 for the Panthers as we start the 4th quarter. 2 receivers to both sides of the formation. Barrett trying to make some extra time for himself. Fires it deep to the end zone. Brady Wells with the touchdown catch! And the Panthers were on the ropes, and Barrett found a way to Wells.
Wow.
On 2 plays. 2nd and 8. Fake to Soul. Chipman being chased. Sees the Panther defensive line, somehow almost squeaks away, but finally the Panthers close the trap.
Quarterback sacked in the backfield.
And Justin Keast with the sack. All right, out of that timeout, 3rd down and 17. One receiver split to both sides. Pitch to Hart. Hart looking downfield. Mike Donovan almost picked it off.
Do something to prevent that sweep.
Well, looks like they would sweep to the wide side of the field towards us, Jay. And there's a pitch play back to Hart, and the Panthers have him corralled. So 4th down after all the excitement. Reset our pacemakers. 3:23 to go, 4th down. Athy and Ciricello back to receive the punt. Chipman's kick is up. Bounces at the 20. So the Panthers are 86 yards away. They've got 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go. They trail by six points. 3 receivers to Barrett's left. Barrett on the draw, a lot of room. Tucks the ball, he's got the 1st down as he crosses the 25. Barrett rolls left. Blocked by Mulvaney, springs him. Barrett puts the Jets on, tucks the ball, crosses midfield. Three receivers split to the left. Barrett on the draw. He's got McIsaac in front of him blocking. Barrett with the extra effort is close to that 1st down.
Yeah, he's going to be about a foot short or maybe 2 feet short.
It's going to be 4th down and a foot.
Well, this is your season right here, Tom, with 1:47 left.
Clock running while they monkey around with it. In the war formation, Barrett takes it on the tap and go. So after they step this off, this 15-yard penalty, it'll be 1st down. 1st down and let's see where they mark it. 17 yards to go.
Well, you got 4 cracks at it. You should be able to make 17 yards and 4 cracks here.
3 receivers to Barrett's left. Ciricello the lone back to the right. Receiver to the right. Barrett on the draw with the blockers in front of him. Gets away. Gets all that yardage back inside the 30. Same formation.
We're down 3.
Barrett on the draw with the blockers. Gets forward. He had to get to that 35, and I think he did.
Yeah, he did, and it's a 1st down, Holliston.
That stops the clock as they got to move the chains. Clock started running. We're down to 55, 54.
And you need a long play here at some point.
Barrett away from the draw. Finds some room somewhere into the defensive backfield inside the 10-yard line. Timeout, Holliston. 40 seconds to go. The Panthers are going to have 1st and goal. Ciricello and Kime to the right. Athy in the slot to the left. Barrett looks right. Fires.
Interference.
And there's the flag as Ciricello was held in the end zone. So Panthers line up in war. Ratcliffe the fullback. Wells on the right. Jack Barrett goes forward. No signal yet. Touchdown, Holliston! The Panthers score to tie this game up. Snap. The kick is up. It is good. And the Panthers take the lead. 29-28. Got to watch number 34 and number 1. They are to the right of the formation.
Got to put some pressure on him, too. Here
Chipman looks. Justin Keith with the tackle.
There's their last timeout. 10 seconds left in this ball game and their last timeout.
4 seconds to go. 4th down. Chipman's going to take it on the draw himself. We see the lateral Ruski here, all the way back to Hart. There he goes. He pitches it back, he's down. That's the ball game. Panthers win 29-28.
Wow, that's
Pretty cool.
Oh, that's some great
It's like a
ones.
stent.
We talked about our pacemakers. What about your pacemakers?
That's more nervous than being part of it, watching it.
Yeah.
I could do with less of those for my lifespan, you know.
If I knew you were going to win, I could do with those every week. It's just, and especially that being a playoff game, you know, the first two, you know, I get it. If you lose, you're probably going to end up where you were anyway. But that last one, you wouldn't have gone anywhere if you lost that game.
No, I know, and you know, obviously, if you can win them all and it's a nice, easy cushion win, then that's the way you want to go. But it's also, there's something to be said for a nice, exciting football game and seeing your kids battle back like our kids did in those 3 games there. You know, and those were, I think, in all 3 of them, I think you probably had most of the spectators writing you off for good reason. You know, we weren't. The Duxbury game started off, we were down 14.
First score.
We were down 14, and we didn't look good at all. It didn't look like we were ready to play coming out of the gate, but just our kids' intestinal fortitude, and we settled in, and that was a very good Duxbury team, a very good Middleborough team.
The 2 ranked teams.
Yeah, Millis team was good too. So that was against 3 very good opponents.
Well, go back to the first game. Millis, here you don't know about the team. Everybody's sort of writing you off a little bit. Team has that attitude where they want to write their own legacy, score right before the end of the half.
That was a big,
To give you a 7-point lead going in the locker room. Third quarter, they score a couple times. Touchdown called back against Josh Pierre-Charles. He's running 200 yards. He's gone. He had a 70-yarder called back.
Defense that game,
But that last drive, it was not all roses there.
No.
That was a tough, muddy, go for every yard kind of play. You had fourth down and goal from the 3. What are you thinking right there?
Well, you're trying to get your ball, get the football in the best in your playmakers' hands at that point. Mm-hmm. Fortunately for us, we have quite a few. But it's just the slant. They were playing a little softer. Millis was playing, defensively a little softer on the slant, and you have 2 good options on your slant route with Tucker and Brady. And Brady made a great catch. The throw was a little bit behind them. Mm-hmm. One of the very few throws that
nobody noticed, Todd. Nobody noticed.
Right. But he turned and made a great catch on that.
Adjusted.
And then on the 2-point conversion, Jack made a great play with his legs, getting out of the. He got a little pressure there and got out of the pocket, and believe it or not, Brady broke his route off, stuck his foot in the ground, went to that's a scramble drill, and hit him right on the sideline there. Making Coach look like a genius,
Had you decided
once
to go,
again making,
Had you decided to go for 2 if you scored? Was that always in your mind?
Yeah, I think so. You're playing on the road there and that muck. Mm-hmm. We had momentum there. I think, anytime you go into overtime on the road like that, and the opposing team that you just scored on has a chance to kind of regroup, and it's kind of a fresh start where now we got the backs against the wall. And again, it's just having confidence in your kids that we're going to make this.
They were kind of mash it. They were built for red zone too. From what they do.
So from the 10-yard line, it may have been an advantage to them as well.
Yeah, so we looked at that.
You never know if it's the right call until it's all over. But
like earlier in the show, talking about why do you get kids that believe?
Exactly.
That's a testament right there to say, hey, not even a thought. Mm-hmm. We believe in those guys, and that's why they're later in the year.
That's
situational stuff.
You go back there. I'm sure you brought that up maybe in meetings or something. You said, guys, we've been here before. We can come back and do it.
Right.
I get the faith in you. Have the faith in us.
Or they're not rattled down the stretch
right.
of the.
First game of the season, 6 fourth downs you went for on that first game.
Business as usual.
4 or 6. But it's it is a confidence builder. You've got to go through those. You're going to have those tough plays where you got to
sloppy
execute.
track too. Punt, a couple things.
we made some big plays in that last drive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We did. Like the fourth down. There were how many fourth downs?
6.
But in the last drive, there was
probably 4 of them.
right. There was quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brady made some good plays on that, and it's everybody. It's the line up front protecting and
then due to time, I was telling the coach off the we didn't have enough time to put the rest of the game in there, but they started creeping back a little bit, and then you guys shut down.
Yeah, we made some big
shut
stops.
them down,
got the
made
ball
some big
back.
stops,
Yeah.
and finished the game off.
We had a big stop right before the half. They were driving down away from the scoreboard, and it brought us some momentum. It was, there was a big hit, I think. I don't know who it was, someone, but
Isaac had a big hit in that game.
Earlier. But this was great, and they were like, wow, this team's supposed to be down. And I remember we had gone up, and then we ended the half on a real physical, last defensive play of the game, and that was kind of a tone setter. And our kids, I remember at halftime, they were like, hey, game on. We're here to win this thing. If there's any doubt, it was gone. And that helped the finish probably.
Well, and then the next week, you're at home, first home game, and you find yourself, down 2 scores. Well, down 8 points.
Right. Ironically, we played great defense the first half of that game, and they got us on 2 fast screens. And I remember they were a well-coached team, and they kind of false reads. They gave run reads, and they threw fast screens behind. So our defensive backs were flying up, being aggressive, and they got us twice on almost the same play symmetrically.
They did,
And they had some playmakers, but we again made plays when we had to, and they had a very good back. Merriman, the QB, could hurt you with his feet. Obviously, could throw. Regan's a legit recruitable receiver, and they had some other guys too. So
if that Duxbury team stayed healthy last year, I think you would have found them potentially at Gillette. They were, but they just got extremely banged up after they played us, and then I think a kid went down. One of their key players went down in our game as well late in the game. So they were a very good football team.
That was when we really, we found out about our cover kids. We were tested that game. I mean, it was a totally contrast to the Millis game. On turf.
Well, they had the
playing a
receivers
speed
and the quarterback. Both.
Yeah, I mean they were a passing team, and they could run the ball. They were balanced up front. They were big too. So it was a kind of a mirror image art to their spread. They could throw the ball. They run well out of spread. The QB runs. So it was. All they didn't do was run war.
What did you learn about the team in the second game of the season, second half, having to make 2 drives to get a lead and then defend it at the end?
Mentally tough.
Yeah, we're fine. We're going to be fine.
Yeah, mentally tough. Because that's what it boils down to. Well-conditioned, mentally tough.
And we're going into league play after 2 absolute. Why we schedule these, or is after 2 bad. We couldn't have asked for 2 better scenarios. I mean, winning them through 4 quarters of having to play tough and come back in situational football. You're primed for league play.
That's nice. And this year, we won't get into too much of this year, but we're not playing Duxbury this year. We play them home and home, right? So,
correct.
And we play them in Lincoln Sudbury.
Game
we'll
2.
be home for them, right?
Correct.
We actually So we have two home games out of the gate.
Yeah, coming out of the gate.
we go
so
on the
that'll be
road.
good.
So we had to take it. We probably would have taken an away game there, but they needed that was their thing that they couldn't take the game unless they had an away game.
Yeah.
And we could not find a game.
Yeah. And not to be lost, and I don't want to jump ahead to the next game, the playoff game, but having Middleborough at home, I mean, you saw that's great energy for our
We talked
kids.
about this last year. You guys both mentioned
those games
how
at home.
important it is to win the league and have those playoff games at home.
It's
we can
the energy and our kids
the crowd,
feel it.
the community. I mean, you see it. The community rallies behind
unbelievable.
our not just football, any program that's that's doing well or whatever. Even if they're not doing well, there's support here in this town.
Yeah.
That's why we pay these high taxes.
But who is it? Either Kingman from
it's
Middleborough
support,
or Merriman? He's like, I'm getting out of here. Like, it's a tough place to play.
It really is.
It's awesome.
I mean, I'm sure, Tom, you got our records over the years. There's a lot of losses on the turf.
The Duxbury game when you guys got the touchdown to get within the score and came back and made the score to go ahead. The place was just unbelievably energetic.
Yep.
And then even as they came back down the field, and the defense had to come up with one more play.
Right. The whole stadium second-guessed us.
Yeah, well, we called it that Grant Buchanan was out on an island with arguably one of the top receivers in Eastern Massachusetts, Ryan Regan, 6'4", whatever he is, 200 pounds, and it looked to us like you had some support behind him on the last couple of plays, but right at the last second before the ball was snapped. It might have been Sam Athy that came over from the double coverage. Definitely came right over to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so we had kept Sam over the top of him all game, and basically took that away. So we had to man up with the other three receivers in trips a lot of times, and that's where, to the point we talked about earlier, we really realized we were a good cover team. But that's a vertical threat, when you keep someone over the top in the red zone. And we talked during the timeout, and it was, three things can happen. If you give him time, he could scramble, he could throw, they get another play, he could hurt you with his feet. And I said, what do you want to do? And Coach said, let's bring heat. So we brought our best blitzer off the edge. And if you look earlier, Donovan's pick, he threw off his back foot.
Yes.
He didn't like someone in his face.
Right.
That's not his game. And it was a great play by Buchanan, but the ball it sailed a little bit, and it was a tough ball.
Yeah.
And so you get a pass interference call down there, then you get an untimed down. If you have two guys go up for the ball and Regan's taller, you're not really. There's only so much you can stretch the field.
Right.
That's a tough play from the 10-yard line. That fade ball.
The fade pass.
You make him make a perfect throw with
by
someone
going
in your
single
face.
coverage, you're guaranteed one play.
Yeah.
We knew there was one play. We got to make this play, and we both felt that it was just a higher percentage play for us to A, bring heat, and B, make it one play. Because if you put Sam behind, if you double him, right now, the quarterback can hurt you with his legs. Roll out, and now they have two plays. They had two timeouts left, so now they have two plays to beat you and potentially scoring on that play.
Yeah.
Because of what that quarterback can do. So I liked our chances with Buchanan, and just go one-on-one. It's a tough ball to complete that fade ball
and come off
with
the
pressure.
edge.
So
Really, especially in bounds and everything, he didn't leave himself a lot of room there and everything. It would have been a great catch if he made it, but
he threw. And we, hands up blitz, but it was.
Did you say anything to Grant? You just slapped him on the helmet, get out there? Or?
No, we in the timeout we said we're bringing heat, so he's going to get and Grant was up for the challenge, and we said make sure you get there. To Sam, and not only Sam, we brought the inside guy. So when Sam blitz, Keast has another role. He's coming. So it was. Merriman knew we were bringing heat when we walked it up, and he's the coach.
But you didn't know if Regan was going in or out.
I think with one-on-one
is split.
with one-on coverage, and we're taking away inside.
It was the field
release.
too.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a fade ball. You're taking away inside release. He's not running a slant. And then talking with their coach after. Not right after the game, but we talk on the phone.
Yeah.
He said that they had another play called, but if there was one-on-one coverage, we're going to our best.
Which is a good call by their part too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you take.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make it perfect throw and
and if he catches that, we look like the worst coaches ever, and we're probably
I've told that story.
We're talking two other guys.
Two other guys.
I've told that story probably about 5 times why at the grad party circuit with all the seniors to the parents. Yeah, Mr. Buchanan. It's like, great year, but why did you leave Grant? All right, let me tell you, this is what we're at.
But there's a kid, we really haven't talked a lot about him. Grant came out. Now he came out basically to kick, I'm guessing, right? And he didn't get a lot of time until this year, right?
No, he had so many of those kids, and he was one of them.
And there he is out. Not just that play, but a lot of times he made a lot of plays on there.
Yeah, but Grant again going against Elkinson, going against Kime, going against our other wideouts in practice. As scout corners, and we get a couple kids this year that did a great job against those guys, Tucker and Brady. So that's where you see a lot. Their development. That they're working. But Grant, he worked hard all summer. He's long. He was matured.
Yeah.
And he competed.
The last play of the 2014 Super Bowl.
Yes.
Grant Buchanan
Yeah.
knocked the ball away in the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there,
Ironically. Yeah.
just got in there at the end, made the big play.
But
and
he'd do that in practice a lot, Tom. He would make plays like that, and we're like,
where'd this come from?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
He always
he's
had
not a
good
kicker.
technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his speed developed. He got stronger. So when the kids get stronger, they get more explosive. So he cut his time down a little bit, and he ran with a lot of guys.
And on the other side, we showed quite a few plays with Mike Donovan,
Yeah.
who another kid came up and had a good year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
made some big plays
going
for us.
to the Middleborough game right there, and that. He made the Duxbury. He was the one he made the interception.
Yeah,
Right.
That was
Again,
that
yeah.
was huge
Yeah.
right there. I mean, he doesn't make that pick, and we're probably not talking about.
He's one-on-one there, too.
You guys right now.
Brought heat there. Yeah.
The Middleborough game, though, as Jay pointed out, all the marbles are on the line. Can't lose this game. This is playoff time. You're down, and you engineer a 78-yard drive, 10-play drive, Barrett to Wells touchdown, which I think was probably the catch of the season right there. That it was a desperation play.
Yep.
Jack had to count
down,
on Brady getting open. He wasn't open. He was behind.
Nope.
He was behind Eddie Hart.
That's just players making plays right there. Right, Jack, being elusive and giving our team a second chance. And him, I mean, he's got to throw the ball. I'm yelling from the sidelines.
Fourth down.
Throw it. You got to give it a chance.
Couple of winners.
Threw it up,
Yeah.
and Brady saw it and went and got it.
Eddie Hart thought he had an interception.
Yeah.
He just
Well,
shaking his head.
Eddie Hart's a heck of a ball player.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do that
Oh, one of
against
the
the
best.
second team scrub
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
did
no,
against
he's
Tom.
playing baseball at
one of the best
UMass.
in
He's a
Eastern Mass.
middle infielder. Yeah.
He's but Brady, he just just typical in Brady fashion.
Yeah.
Scoop.
Yeah.
Catches it, and that was I mean, that probably that's the play of the season.
Yeah.
Probably.
And just talking about the way the ball can bounce, I mean, really, the defense had a good game except for like 3 or 4 plays. I mean, they just had some really huge
Big
plays.
plays.
Yeah, they were explosive. They're probably the most
60,
explosive
75,
team.
and 93 yards
Yeah.
for touchdowns.
Yeah, they were, and we had some trouble with how they lined Hart up in the backfield, and they hit him, and he came out once, picking it up. It was a different look they had shown. So he's a good coach.
So
And we've
just
had some
showing how
battles
things
against
can,
over the years.
you got them bottled up 95% of the plays, and then
Yeah.
they squeeze out a couple
Yeah,
of
they were-
touchdowns, and you're down.
Yeah,
That's the scariest thing about playing a big play capability team is you can have a great game, and if you're so on 5 plays,
Yeah.
that could be 5 scores, and hey, you got to give them credit. That's
yeah. They had the other back too. He was fast. They ran
Soul.
him on a wheel route.
Heart and soul.
Yeah, Soul. Is that his name? Yeah, 34.
Yeah.
He's
I think,
back.
Yeah.
He was a
They ran him
sophomore.
on a wheel route once. He had a big play, and then
Yeah.
Chipman was he was just as good as Merriman with his
Oh, Chipman's
legs.
good, yeah.
He was a tough kid. The kids, there was a great mutual respect in talking to the kids. That was a good 2-year rivalry. The kids, there was no chippiness in that game. I think even Chipman had said to one of the kids, "Can you believe we're in this thing again?" Like this.
Right.
So they're a good team, good coach, good program.
I
A lot of respect
remember
for those guys.
when we did 2 years ago when we asked the seniors what their toughest game was. It was the only game they hadn't played was the Thanksgiving Day in the Super Bowl, and they all just said the same. Nick and all those kids, they said Duxbury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that was the game I think that team really started believing in themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's the intrigue. I mean, that's 2 or 3 state championships in 5 years. They had a run.
Yeah, they're perennially one of the best teams in the state, Duxbury, and for us to beat them back-to-back years like we did was impressive.
Great. Yeah.
Especially do it. I mean, last year was this past season to beat them.
Yeah.
And I really felt like in talking with their coach beforehand, I got a sense like he thinks he's gonna roll us. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he had every right to. If you think about it, he's looking at who you lost,
Right.
who beat him the year before.
Right.
Yep.
This guy's gone. That guy's
Right.
gone.
And he was young the year
Yeah.
before we went down
They were
there.
sophomores,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah.
But then coming back, as you guys have said through this whole show, you have these seniors come out there and
Not rattled.
they're ready.
Winners.
Yep.
They're ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we go through the playoffs.
Just go right through them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was easy. wasn't
breeze
it?
right,
Yeah.
breeze right through
Yeah.
those. Yep.
I know another great playoff run, and then we come to the Super Bowl, and you're playing against a team that's a really good passing team, right? And
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Four
And
very talented receivers.
yeah, before we show the highlights of that, why don't you guys talk a little bit about what you did defensively in the line?
Well, I mean, we talked about it post game. We just felt their strength was their wideouts, and even they had 2 or 3 kids who weren't even in their starting package. Like they had another big tight end when they go double tight. They bring in a lot. So their strength was their passing game. They didn't have a lot of the QB run game in watching them. So we took our chances with our 5 guys up, in the box and said, you 5 got the run, and we're going to put another kind of go nickel the whole game. Brought another young,
Garrison,
defensive back. And we had a lot of kids that we looked at, Brady and other stuff, but keeping Brady fresh on offense and doing that. And it just worked out well. And kept 2 safeties and took away, easy throws for him and made him work. And mixed in some pressures, different looks. They tried to get us on some crossing stuff, when we were manned up underneath, and we made an adjustment at halftime to play like a little zone concept underneath. And, again, kids made plays down in the red zone when we had to. Field position was a huge part of that game. Early kicking game got us, It seemed like we played most of the first half on our side of the field.
Because yardage-wise, it was close.
It was, yeah.
It was close, but it
yeah.
was we definitely won the field position battle.
Yeah.
Field position was, starting position for the Panthers was the 49.
Yeah.
And theirs was the 23.
Yeah, we had some good
There you go.
returns, and we good, even the punt. I talked about Matt's punt down there. But just guys, big goal line stand, mixed it up a little bit.
But our 3 guys up front.
Yeah, 2
That
points.
made it different.
Yeah.
That
See,
freed up another back for now you play
Yeah,
nickel.
and I knew, we knew, the textbook says they get 5 in the box, they're going to run the ball. I'm like, they're not going to be able to run the ball on us. They weren't good enough up front. We felt great about our 5 guys. I'm like, they're going to, they're going to be throwing the ball against what the Bible says, because we're going to shut their shut their run game.
And we got
down
our
with
safeties
5 guys.
involved with the perimeter game too. So
Yeah.
when our 5 guys could take care of the inside
Yeah,
gaps,
they come in.
they came rolled up and
Cleaning
played
up.
tough.
Yep.
Then we did some adjustments. We moved Michael Donovan to safety to have speed over the top with Sam Athy, and we put Tucker on Kagan wherever he went.
Did a nice job.
Yeah, and said, look, you're gonna, you just guys see him on the hoop court. He's a battler, and we're gonna give you help, but take that away. But they had a lot of kids that could hurt you. The big kid, 15, the tight end. We were at the breakfast. We're at the breakfast, and
they
I'm
had
like,
a ton of weapons.
Ton, I think that's a coach. That's an assistant. I mean, he's a big kid with a beard on, and I'm like, that's the tight end. I'm like, oof.
Well, the year before you had shut down another superior.
Oh
tight end.
yeah, Cole. Yeah,
he was
I didn't have any catches.
statistically unbelievable. I don't know where he ended up going to school or anything, but
Morrison.
Morrison.
Yeah.
Cole Morrison. Yeah. Again, it's a lot of the teams we watched on film had played off, and in a zone. We just like our kids to be aggressive. Whether it's coming after, and I think they believe in it too, and whether they're manning up or we're sending heat. So it's worked.
all right. Well,
What was the message before the game? I mean, not knowing whether everything's going to work. What are you saying to this team that has cut their teeth through the season? They've proved the Metro West Daily News wrong a couple of times, and they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, go out and be you.
Is that it?
Just be you. Do what we've done all season long. Don't change. You've executed the game plan perfectly all week long. We've had a great week and some change of practice. Just go out, and be you guys, and play unselfish ball, and that's exactly what this group did.
Yeah.
Play it unselfishly, you had
Shirts were a band of brothers. Actually, that was the saying for the year. Yeah.
So, when you get groups like that, you don't have to talk too much.
This was
They
a
do the
particularly close group. Sometimes you have seniors that hang. This was from the juniors and the seniors were like the most complete. If you went into a room and you said, "Where's the seniors? Where's the juniors?" You wouldn't tell the difference. They were that close.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's again a credit to those guys, not being there just saying it's our team. It's collectively our team, and they knew they needed the junior, and the juniors respected it was their team, and it was a great synergy.
Yeah. Well, we'll take a look at the Super Bowl for the 2015 Division IV championship.
McIsaac on the left. Wells on the right, and he turns the corner. Touchdown, Brady Wells! Panthers are on the board.
Well, we saw a little bit of everything on that drive. We saw some passing. We saw, some running, a lot of running. But the one thing that's really interesting, we're seeing a lot of sets and a lot of different players coming in and out of the game for Holliston on offense.
So with 38 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Panthers are on the board first. Here they are again. Johnson, Matt McIsaac with the sack coming off the right side.
Yeah, and that's what I said, Tom. You're going to see a lot of that. I know I kind of think of some on the same lines, I think, as Coach Athy. You got to come in and you got to force Trevor Johnson into third and fourth and long, and you got to get him starting to think and get him maybe a little nervous back there, to get his feet dancing a little bit. And that's how you take out the really great quarterbacks, is you put a lot of pressure on them.
Trips left. Ratcliffe the tailback. Donovan comes in motion. Ratcliffe on the turnaround. He's got it inside the 5. Stretches for the goal line, but he's just short. But it's going to be first and goal, Holliston from the 1-yard line.
And Chicopee Comp really has no clue of what's going on out there right now, Tom. They're just getting blown off the line by Holliston's offensive line, and they're trying to follow where the ball is, and they can't seem to follow where the ball is going.
And a couple of fresh Panthers come to the line. Holliston sets up in their war offense. Ciricello comes in at the quarterback spot. Wells on the right, McIsaac on the left. Handoff up the middle to Ratcliffe. And Sam Ratcliffe, touchdown with 5:54 to go in the first half. Here comes McIsaac. Johnson gets it away. Intercepted by Ciricello. He's inside the 25-yard line. Well, they're going to send Ciricello to the right, Wells and Athy to the left. McIsaac the lone back. Fake to McIsaac.
Got him.
Top to Ciricello. He got behind the defense. Touchdown, Panthers!
Well, that's what happens, Tom. And again, I'll say it again, it's the experience of coming in here, not being rushed, not being too urgent, taking your time, just relaxing back there. Jack Barrett got some great blocking back there. He did a nice job. And I've said this all year, when Jack Barrett is in the pocket and he gets time, he is absolutely lethal.
So the ball's at the 11-yard line, first and 10. Clock running, 7:52 here in the third quarter. Fake to Heath. Johnson puts it up top. Aronson with a hand on it, incomplete.
Right there. Good coverage.
The freshman here in the Super Bowl is making some big plays.
It's a lot tougher just down here now. This is third down here. See if Holliston looks like they might be bringing it. Here
Panthers blitz. Johnson throws it high, incomplete to the end zone. Sam Athy coming off the right side with the pressure. So Chicopee Comp with 4th down and 10, 7:33 to go in the third quarter. Panthers need a big stop here. Johnson's going to go empty backfield. Can't believe they're looking in for the play right now. Maybe they want to see Holliston's personnel set. Certainly taking their time. 2 receivers to the right. Split wide to the left is Black. Johnson looks, caught by Labonte, knocked out of bounds by Buchanan, and the Panthers hold.
Clock is running now. There'll be 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
So the trip receivers move to the right side. Barrett fires, complete to Brady Wells, number 9 at midfield for a first down.
Two great jobs there. One by the junior quarterback and two by the senior wide receiver. That was a big, big play, big catch.
Athy on the right, in motion, handoff to him. Looks towards the end zone, touchdown Panthers! Sam Athy from 4 yards out puts the Panthers 3 scores ahead. Second down and 4. Johnson hangs it up. And there's the pick. Sam Athy at the 44-yard line. Inside the 25 to the 22. I want to give a shout out to the seniors, this class of 2016. Senior captains Justin Keast, Zach Stirring, Andrew Kime, Matt McIsaac have done an excellent job leading this team all season long.
Tremendous leadership.
Gave them the confidence to come out and do the job tonight, finish this deal. Also Ryan Johnson, Sam Bonfatti, Tucker Ciricello, Aiden Delaney, Brady Wells, Zach Schneelock, Grant Buchanan, Ian McCarthy, Ian Bello, J.B. Cerulli, Brady D'Angelo, Justin McClendon, Dan Barry, and Mike Donovan.
This is it's an amazing story how these guys did this. And, you know, maybe they weren't beating people by 40 points, but every time they had to do something to win, this team did it. Tom, every single time from that first game when they went for 2 instead of 1 to win the game, they did what they had to do. And this defense, in the offensive line, I just can't say enough about both of those groups.
You're right, Jay. They've met every challenge. You know that I think only Danny V was the only one that picked them, you know, to be in the top 20 rankings to start the season. Well, they proved themselves those first 4 games with the wins against Millis. 2-point win against Duxbury, and then a big win against Westwood down in their place. And you know, then they in the playoffs as they ran the gauntlet. It wasn't always easy being down by 2 touchdowns against Middleborough, but like Coach Kiley said, they never didn't believe they were going to come back and win. And now this team is 2015 Division IV State of Massachusetts champions, your Holliston Panthers.
Okay,
It's a
never gets old.
nice way to
never
close
gets
that out,
old,
that
huh?
statement. Huh? Wow.
Well, first of all, congratulations to you guys and the team and your coaching staff.
thank you.
And Andrea.
Right.
She does a lot for our program.
Yeah, she really does.
I've just seen her taking pictures on the sideline there.
the
watching
glue,
last
the
clip.
glue that holds it all together.
It's just,
You know?
it's just a remarkable story, though, and you know, I know you guys are kind of in the middle of it, and you know, but when you get a chance to step back and you think, 1 year for a lot of these people is great, 2 years winning it back to back, with almost not a whole new team, but quite a few new players.
Yeah.
Right.
What a remarkable, great season.
Yeah. This is
No, it's
fun.
you know, it's gratifying watching that last clip there of sending some of the seniors out that have poured so much into this program that may have not maybe gotten the time that they wanted. Watching Danny Barry and Justin McClendon jog out on that field for the last play, and seeing that, just the little things that it means a lot. You know, Danny Barry, was, you know, scout team playing center. Past 2 years doing a great job there, which isn't an easy position. Justin McClendon, same thing. Great lineman, that senior. If he's playing on another team, he's probably starting, but he's another kid that just, it just reminded me, watching those two jog out to be on the field for that last play. It's the little things, those little things that make this whole thing worthwhile.
And then you had Andrew Kime, who the year before got hurt on Thanksgiving
story.
Day, didn't get to go to play in the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and boom, he scores. It was Stoneham. He scored the touchdown against.
Right,
He
yeah,
scored the touchdown against Stoneham, and I think I said telecast, I was so happy
Right,
for
to get
him
a chance
that
to
he
go
was
back
going to
and
get
play,
to go.
yeah.
You know, that's just.
Even though he's a
just great.
Pittsburgh fan, we were happy for
Oh,
him.
really?
Oh, boy.
To get back on the Gillette.
What do you do to
turf.
Dallas fans?
Right, yeah. We joke with him. We're like, you get to play in Gillette Stadium, and
That's
he
it.
wears
That
it.
is-
Yeah,
it's
no, great
sensational.
story for a kid
It
who's,
really is.
again, put everything into the program, and has been a great leader and a great model
Yeah.
student athlete for the
Yeah.
I
program.
mean, he's what you want representing your program. You know, unselfish, great in the community, great in the classroom, just an all-around awesome kid. You know, and we've been fortunate enough to have quite a few of those kids.
So big excitement, big celebration. The whole town's there. It never gets old. Holding the trophy, getting the pictures taken, and the interviews, endless
Right,
interviews.
we
after
look
the
forward
game.
to being up with you guys. That's the
Well, if you work
fun,
hard this year, maybe you can get
Right,
back.
yeah. So, but that's
Zip
no.
it,
But
Jay.
honestly, celebrating with you guys and the families up on that pavilion.
Isn't it
that's
sensational?
the
Yeah.
greatest
It's really-
experience because there's cousins, there's moms and dads, there's grandparents, and you get to meet them, and it's you don't get that out.
Not a lot of dry eyes either.
No, yeah.
I mean, a lot of
Oh,
people, this is
yeah.
very, very meaningful to a lot of people.
So much goes into the season, right? And it's not just the players, not just the coaches, it's
Right.
the families
Yeah.
that
Wives of
trucking these kids
coaches.
around. Yep,
Yeah,
it's
families,
so many
moms,
people
dads.
that are affected by, in a positive way, we
Mm-hmm.
hope, affected by the season. But there's a lot of hard work that goes into it from a lot of people outside the team that.
Right, the pasta dinners and
Yeah.
every playoff game, parents putting on pasta dinners and doing, they're entrenched in it. You see some of the parents from a year or two ago, and they miss it,
Yeah.
because
Oh, I bet
it's
they
a
do.
huge part, and it's a social element for them, and they live it, yeah. So it's exciting.
So, but the excitement wasn't done there. You still had your team get together. You got the jackets and the big ring ceremony
Right.
down at Gillette Stadium, and something really special able to happen there, where you're able to raise 73 for the second time there at Gillette Stadium, and then the picture I hold dear is the 73 and the 7 side by side. That was nice that
Such a
that
touch.
Gillette it allowed you to do that for a period of time.
Yeah, could you, why don't you tell, because a lot of people don't know that story, how they both get to be in there.
Right. So you're talking about both of them at the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So they've been great to us, the Pats. It's just been a great relationship. We're fortunate enough to have it be a relationship because we've been there a few times. But so that was one of the workers that was working. He was the manager that day. That approached me on it and said, "Would you like to have both jerseys up there?"
Because you normally get one, right?
You do.
Yeah, every
you do.
state champion
And
gets
so
one
we
for
were
the
getting
year.
back the jersey from the year before, which
7
was
had
Timmy's.
been hanging for the last
Right.
year.
12 months.
So they were giving that back to us. That day they were giving it back to us because we don't want to take the chance of mail or losing that in any fashion. So they handed it to us, and before he handed it to me, he said, "Would you like to have both of them up there?" And I said, "Would I like that? That would be awesome." So we got to have both those jerseys hanging there, and just to get pictures, pictures with everybody in front of the jerseys, and really it's a huge piece to our program, right? And what those two boys mean to our program. So to have it up there together and to be able to celebrate it with those families as well.
Yeah.
And them knowing how important their kids are to our program. Not were, but are. So they're still alive, in that respect. So
That's a nice day. We had all the families. They have the little theater there that we do a presentation of all the rings and the jackets for the kids, and then we do something for the cheerleaders, and then we have it for 2 hours, and then a lot of the families and the coaches just go out and go to dinner in Patriot Place. So they make a night of it and a day of it, and it's it's funny because the parents after the banquet they don't want to break it up. It's this
Don't
team
want
is
it to
still
end.
well, we
you don't
still
want
have Gillette together, and we're going to do the ceremony. So
Yeah.
it's a great day, and it's I'm saying excuse. It's a great event in March that keeps that team together, even though everybody's on to basketball and other stuff. And it turns into a fun day, and usually an evening, and people all, we usually go to one of the restaurants there, and there's big groups eating, and it's just a great.
so much
It's why you do it. Yeah.
Well, the 2015 season, an exciting one, a state championship, makes Holliston with their 10th appearance. They're 5-5 in Super Bowls, and another trophy in the case, which means a lot for the long legacy of Holliston Panther football and the bright future of Holliston Panther football. Always be there, inspiring coaches, players, and fans.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, it's really, this starts, and we've talked about this, Todd, 100 times. It starts with the little kids and little programs. And I love how you guys get those kids involved with water bottles or whatever it is on the field, and then you go down to Gillette, and we see something. This year we were across the field. We didn't see a lot, but the little kids all coming with their jerseys on, the Pop Warner kids, and you talk about an inspiration, inspiring kids. And I know you guys get very heavily involved. Talk about that for a minute. How involved you are with the Pop Warner program?
So it's we are one program, and we've always treated it as such. That. It's not two separate programs, it's one, and we try to involve each other in as much as everything we do on both sides. And the water boy is a piece of it, having the kids water boy that, which my wife Sarah coordinates, puts forth a lot of energy there. They're at every, whether they're a water boy or not, they're at every game supporting our team.
As are those coaches too.
All the coaches are there.
Great group of guys.
As we try and go down, we go to their games. You'll find our kids at their games as well. And the Panther Academy is a big piece to that. And it's great to see these seniors. Tucker and Matt McIsaac and Brady Wells, they were at the Panther Academy as third graders running around looking up to their old, the varsity kids that we had back then is, I want to be like that. And that's when a program is able to build, when, I want to aspire to be that, be that person, not just for their play, but because they're so good with the kids. That you should come down to a Panther Academy day and just watch our varsity kids with the young kids.
Yeah, that's a unique thing.
How good they are. They make the camp, and it's awesome, And it's one of the best weeks.
They're competitive too. By the end of the week, they have their 7. They have their little teams.
Players have their groups.
Oh yeah, they have their teams. And they play against each other in flag.
So you get the mini Athys and mini Kiley coaches.
But even though the varsity coaches, so each varsity player will have a team.
I'm saying they're pretending they're you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then they get out.
Best impressions out there.
Yeah, down the stretch, there's some good.
Way better, actually.
Good competition going.
You got to teach us.
Right, they do.
You don't just get the players from there, because both you guys coached in the system, right? You were, you coached the team that went down to Florida. Todd, I know when I was back 100 years ago when I was coaching them, you were coaching back then too. You're one of the guys who started this whole thing.
It was in Kevin McAteer's basement. There was like 4 or 5 of us trying to restart Holliston youth football, and I coached a couple of years out of college, and that's not an easy job.
We were with those guys last night. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we were talking about it last night. We were at the coaches clinic and doing our thing there, trying to teach a couple things, and we talked about that.
Our job's easier sometimes.
Yeah.
We have 17 and 18-year-olds, that have full attention to do with a 10-year-old, but they do a great job, those guys, and they're supportive. To your point too, on the town, you looked across on our sideline, unbelievable look. The Red Sea, and just not the Red Sea, it's the parents and the friends. That was just a sea of red that day, and it's unbelievable.
And for those who thinks it's just the high school players' parents, no way. There's people from all over.
We ran into people.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, and it's they consistently say through the Comcast versions that Holliston, one of the smaller towns, has the largest draw. The last 2 years. And that's proud. It really it's special.
Yeah, they said it in 2010 too. I remember watching
all
that.
Of ours.
They said, "Wow, this is the biggest crowd."
Yeah,
or commenting at the end of the day that the Holliston crowd was the biggest crowd of the day. So it just goes back to how much support we get, and it's a big piece of it.
You really need everybody, right? Put the whole thing together.
Takes a machine.
Takes a village.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And without HCAT there, it's
You know,
Comcast who?
Exactly.
Gary Tang. No, never mind.
Never.
Anyway.
You guys know our guys. You know, that's the version I give my father-in-law to see in Florida. Yeah.
But you guys know the kids too, so
Yeah.
I think it is.
It really- it really
hopefully
is.
nobody from Comcast is watching this, but I think you get more enjoyment out of watching your version.
Yeah,
It does
you
make
see
it
their
easier.
development is interesting.
It does make it
I see them.
easier.
Yeah.
And we, you know, and we also have seen, of course, a long time we've been with you guys, and we've seen your kids,
Oh,
the
yeah.
three kids, and
Yeah.
you know, and the Donovans. I saw him
Yeah.
right into Robbie Donovan the other day, and you see all these kids and everything, and how they've
Yeah.
grown up in the program. It's just
Well, you
it's
know
really
what's
cool.
funny is Sam and Jack, or my Sam and Jack are inseparable. They were in Tucker, were water boys on our 2010 team. They were
Really?
talking about it one day on when we, so they were the little water boys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then what, 6 years later, 5 years later, they're making big plays on the turfs themselves to win a
It's
state
amazing.
championship. So that's
Amazing
kind of cool.
story.
I envy these guys at their class reunions. you
Oh
know.
yeah, we always
They're
say
going to
that.
have
great
Right.
stories.
My team was not that good, and we
Right.
talk
Right.
like we
Yeah,
won the
yeah.
championship.
Weddings, yeah.
But these
Weddings
guys
and class
did it.
reunions will be fun.
See, when I played, there was no TV, so we could lie about everything. These
Yeah,
guys,
there
it's
you go.
on
No,
tape.
they're going to
now.
pull the HCAT tape out, or they'll go to the
Go to the tape.
web.
You can look it up.
Yeah.
Well,
we say that about
thanks
their
so much.
rings at their reunions, and
Yeah,
their
yeah.
weddings. That's
really special.
Yeah, I
Really
love it for
special.
years.
Well, guys, thank you very much. Thanks for
thank you.
your time. First of all,
thank you.
Again, thank you and your coaches and Andrea and your players and they've all been great to us too. You should know that they've been very special to us, and it's been a lot of fun.
Always is.
It's August 1st today, so the end of the month we'll start up again with the media day, right? And then we start this whole thing again, and really looking forward to another good year.
Yeah,
State
we're-
champions until December.
Right. Yeah, we're coming from workouts here,
it.
so it's no real rest for the weary. Yeah. And
Also, I want to thank the lovely Lisa. Lisa Hedvick does so much. She put so much time, and I don't know how she can spend that much time with me and teach me this stuff, because no one can ever teach me technical stuff. But Lisa, who else we got? Jess St. George is out there, Bruce, and Don Cronin. So thank you all for putting this together.
Yes,
thank
thank
all
you.
you guys.
Thank
for
you guys.
Yeah,
It's
this is
awesome.
everything.
You guys are awesome.
This is great for us to step
Yeah.
away and just see this and reflect
Isn't it
on
fun?
it. It was
It's
a great
fun.
job on the
It's
cuts,
fun. Thank
too.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jay. That
Yeah.
was
Thank you.
amazing. And Tom, you always have stats that are mind-blowing.
Yeah. I know. I learn a lot about our
It
team
is,
just
yeah,
coming in. Oh,
yeah.
really? So that's what happened. How much was that?
So you got
too kind. You're
I
too
won't
kind.
be there for the Millis game because I'm going to Ohio State to see them. I got to help. I got to help him out a little bit.
Yeah, you're going to get Urban Meyer calling
Yeah,
you.
Urban. He calls me once in a while.
I figured you'd be calling the game
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah,
on the Ohio State Network. Yeah.
But Carlos will take over for me in that game. Then
Great.
I'll be back for Lincoln Subway, expecting a really good season. We'll talk about
Yeah.
that at Media Day. But again, one last time, thank you guys very
Yeah.
much for all you've done. Really,
Thank
really
you, guys.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's
thank
a
you.
Wonderful season.
You do, and I say this from a
Tom.
dad. You make the experience for the families. It's great. I talk to so many families that watch the games over and over, and the way you guys call it, it's great.
It's a lot of
Thank
fun.
you.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
We'll get ready.
Another
We'll be-
championship season
Yeah,
in the can.
We'll be out there to start the next season. And thank you all for showing up, and have a good night.
Good night, everybody.